Hi friends, welcome. This is Ines Kitchen. If you're here for the first time today, welcome to my channel. Today we're cooking delicious jollof rice and fried chicken. So I'll be showing you how to make jollof rice and how to season chicken perfectly. Stay tuned. So first of all, it starts with a trip to the market to get really great ingredients. You need fresh peppers. You need two different type of peppers, tatache, which are bell peppers. You need tomatoes, and then you need onions, ginger, garlic. These are all the things that you need, and then you need to wash all of these, clean them up, and then blend them into a paste. So now what we're actually doing is we are making rice for about 300 people, and then the chicken also, we're also seasoning chicken. So I have bouillon cubes here for seasoning the chicken. I have my chicken seasoning powder. So what we are doing is we are going for a heavily seasoned chicken. So this chicken seasoning has like all the good stuff in it, has a combination of ingredients. So I have curry powder, but this curry powder is mixed. It has rosemary, thyme, and some other things in it. Then I have thyme, actually dried thyme. Then I also have sesame oil. Since I started using sesame oil in seasoning my meat, I'm telling you, it's really very wonderful and lovely. Then I have ginger powder. So I'm using fresh ginger for my blend of tomato for the rice, but then I'm using the powdered ginger for the meat. Then of course salt. So first of all, we're going to blend some tomatoes, some scotch bonnet peppers, and then some garlic in a blender or food processor. And this is what we're going to also use in seasoning our meat. So this is our meat, and you can see that I'm using the chicken seasoning first. Please bear with me. You're going to get a clear picture of the pot very soon. Then of course curry powder. So now I like buying my ingredients in sachets because I always calculate my ingredients in sachets, like per derica. When I want to cook rice, I calculate it per derica, how much of those ingredients I'll need per derica, and so that's how I calculate how much I would need also for the rice. So for the meat is the same thing. I calculate it per kilo, like how much will I use per kilo of chicken, and that's how I measure my ingredients. So in I go with my sesame seed oil, and then I'm going to add some bouillon cubes to it. Like I said at the beginning, this is going to be like a heavily seasoned chicken recipe, but not to worry, we're still going to be putting this in a stew, so it's going to tone down all of that seasoning. So we're going to boil the meat for at least 30 to 45 minutes. So let's quickly go over the ingredients for jollof rice. There is no jollof rice without tomato paste. There's no jollof rice without tomato paste. So earlier on, this is about 2,200 grams of tomato paste. Like I said earlier on, I always calculate my ingredients based on how much I'll use for a derica of rice, and then I multiply it by how many. I'm cooking quarter bag of rice, which is 16 dericas, and I'm cooking for 50 people. So I have curry, I have nutmeg, I have another type of curry. I'm using two types of curry here. Then of course we have bay leaves. Very important, you cannot cook jollof rice without bay leaves. It gives that very nice distinct taste that you get from party jollof. Then we have bouillon cubes. So usually I would use 3 to 4 cubes per derica of rice. So since we are going for party rice, I always advise you use 4 of these, like one bouillon cubes. That you can see is different from those cubes that come in that are double. So this one is one, so we are using 4 of this per derica of rice. So we are also using some no cubes. I'm using 2 different types of bouillon cubes. For some reason it makes the rice taste better. Anybody that's used to cooking party rice, they'll tell you to not use just one type but like 2 types. So I don't know, let me share your opinion in the comment section. That's what I was taught, and it always works. So our meat is almost done, and now we are frying it. So once we fry it, we are going to take out of that stew the tomato paste that we blended to make a stew. So we'll fry it in a pot. We are boiling this now for the jollof rice, but then we are going to fry some of it as a sauce for the chicken. So once it's dry, you can see me adding the chicken, adding some fresh onion, just to give it that taste, and then we're going to coat the meat with it. Now some people would rather boil the chicken in the tomato paste that they want to use to the tomato blend that they want to use to cook the rice, but mine, I like doing it separately. So I'm adding all of my ingredients into the boiling tomato sauce, including our tomato paste. So once I bring all of that to a boil, I will now transfer it to the big pot I want to use. That party pot you used to cook rice, I'll now transfer it to that pot. So I advise that you are really careful, because when you're using an industrial gas like this, or you're cooking a lot of quantity of food like this, just be very, very careful of splashes and all. So this is me adding the chicken stock to the blend of the tomato paste and the blend of fresh tomatoes and peppers, ginger, garlic and onions. So it's time to add our thyme, and then we'll be adding oil to it. We'll be adding some of our oil to it. We'll be adding a little bit of oil to this blend, and then we'll leave it to come to a boil. So now I'm adding bouillon cubes. Like I said, I have 16 dericas of rice, and usually I'll use just 4 bouillon cubes per derica. So I've transferred it to the pot I want to use to cook the rice. This is the party pot, and it doesn't really take time. You cover it for at least 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the heat. So within 45 minutes to an hour, you should be checking it and turning it, so that you have an even cook all around the rice. So if you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.